evening, it's April 16th, and this is the policy committee. We will be discussing harassment policy and the town debit policy this evening. Let's go with harassment. I thought we were against it. Oh, we're for harassment. Oh, we're for, absolutely. We're for the policy. I'll look at the copy that you revised here. Of course, I came up with a couple of cosmetic changes. Are you laughing at me?
No.
I'm glad you said
It's
so
okay.
before I did.
It's late. Here we are, 1 minute into the policy session, and you're,
I'm just glad
1 minute into it, you said, I've got changes.
I was holding on, I said, I'm not gonna be the first one to say, I have some suggestions. I was afraid you'd kill me.
I printed the wrong one.
I just was a draft of 4-8.
That's what I should have.
Draft 40, I think.
Yep, I don't pay for when I printed
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Because I know I did that.
Well, no, this is from Jelly.
Yes, I did put it in there. Right?
If I type two, no, I
Can you
didn't.
share your copy and you can look at that copy? Sure.
But you got to change it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see.
I knew I put it in. Sorry.
Have you got the wrong one too?
I thought I printed
Well, she
this.
printed the same thing twice.
I thought I printed this off the email that you sent back.
Didn't know researching hard.
One that you sent back? Or I sent it?
You sent an email to me.
I did, but it was on the town debit card.
I got that one.
Fine.
And I printed those out, right? I made, well, anyway, go ahead, do this.
All right.
You got it, you got a copy.
On this first paragraph, where it talks about the second sentence, support subordinate actions. And then down here, we talk about actions between coworkers.
As well as actions between co-workers.
Yes. Should that be interaction versus actions, or is that yes, split
Actions,
versus interactions?
interactions. That's a good question.
Or is either?
Actions is more physical, interactions is more verbal.
Could be
Well, I've seen some physical interactions.
Yeah.
So what,
I think it would just be
You're showing, this
action.
is what you really showed.
do you have a telephone you can look at the,
Well, could we just leave that out there and,
yeah. So the question is,
does it matter whether the term say interactions versus just actions?
I said interaction.
Sounds
That
good.
word
Yeah.
is the subordinate, it sounds like the policy's covering actions. Then you're going to explain what actions to take as opposed to the interactions between the supervisor and subordinate.
I guess I need to bring it this first to this meeting.
Look at her.
Did you guys, which is that?
Oh, yeah, that was really good, that email. I printed that up.
okay, so that's in the first paragraph. We should change it to one, interactions as well as interactions between coworkers.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Well, I mean, we can all look it up and see what we come up with. I'll pass on by. Okay, so anyway.
You take notes.
Yeah, okay, stealing that.
Have you got anything else? I'm done with
I have, in the first paragraph, my question is, I think this came up the last time, but I thought I didn't have to be, just to harass you. I still wonder if the original one had, that all employees, volunteers and visitors are able to,
Right, be free from sexual harassment.
to work.
I just.
Yeah, for some reason.
Not that you can harass them, but
I think
I didn't think.
we did, but I wonder if the intent is that when employees come, when visitors come to town, or not so much visitors, but taxpayers, townspeople come into the town. But we're going to make this part of the personnel policy, so therefore it wouldn't be applicable. Do we have
Retiring employees and
Right,
volunteers.
right, okay, so but do we
Like us.
have, does the town have any responsibility towards, under the state law for sexual harassment, and where the town has any responsibility for harassment to people who come into the town hall?
Then there would be state law and federal law on those kinds of issues. So, I agree with you, this policy is aimed at.
Well, originally it was,
Volunteers.
originally it was a separate policy, but we're going to, this is now going to become part of the personnel policy, right?
Right,
It's gonna be
I mean,
hard.
they still talk about in the original one, policy, the acting municipal office, working with employees.
But the original, this is treated more like it was,
This is the
it
one
was
that,
a policy of the acting municipal office to provide working atmosphere for employees and visitors free from sexual harassment. If we're making it part of the personnel policy, then I don't think that it should be in there. But I wonder if there's something else that needs to be a policy that needs to deal with harassment of visitors on.
The state government. Okay.
It was,
put your little asterisks here.
what is that?
Number 2, academic. Is it academic?
Yeah, the
Original.
original, I think it said academic, and I'm thinking it must be because it applied to the school department as well.
Right, I did see that. word
That was in the original.
somewhere. I'm looking at the original.
You sure?
You know,
Sorry,
I know I
but-
need gray lights, but I'm telling you, it's the original.
I was watching
Jeff
that today, I
Davis.
couldn't see a damn thing, it's because I put my old glasses on.
Oh.
Glasses. I said, I don't see, I can't read the signs anymore. So where did I see academic?
Item 2.
Yes, personal, or academic decisions down here, yeah, academic decisions. So it makes it sound more like this is probably the school department. Do they have their own
It might have been, but
policy?
at the time,
Of course they have their own.
They have their,
yeah, that's why on any of the policies we write, putting the board selecting the people in the school department are subject, is separate entity, not subject to these.
so I just wonder why that word is in there. You know, how would it affect someone
1996.
academically? 96, yeah, maybe at that time they were combined.
Correct.
But you can't think of any reason that, that someone could use, is used by the
No, I don't
parents as a
think it-
basis for
I don't
making
think
personal
it's too late.
academic decisions.
There's still workers out there. And volunteers, so isn't workers and volunteers much more generic than saying academic?
Yeah. It's just something that I noticed in academic research. Like, word, academic decisions.
What else did you find?
See if I have the original one. Okay. Oh, that's my one. No, that's my number 1. That's yours.
What number do you have?
Yeah.
That is also.
Wait, I put them in order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was what we were doing first.
Oh, you know, there's a lane. You know?
He took it.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have is down here in the second paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had a note confidentiality, when it deals with confidentiality. In the original it said to protect the privacy of all parties. And I don't think the new one says that. This is the current version. This is the current one. Strict confidentiality will be maintained throughout the investigation. I think probably your first instinct is to think that it's for the person who was harassed. But at the same time, until, all the information is known, the privacy of the person who's being accused of it should also be. So I think that's.
You just want to add those words?
I just think that maybe that's why originally it said privacy of all parties. And I don't know if you guys feel as though that's important enough to clarify that. I think the tendency might be to think that it's just the person who is reporting the harass that needs to be protected.
Third one down. Third paragraph down, last line.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay.
There's one.
Did you get any more?
Let's see, what's it, the person? Says I don't know, employees or all. We just say, person found no harassment. Well, it should be accused of harassment. Yeah, it sounds like the radio was
This one.
the alleged victim.
No, you definitely
He's
victim,
dead.
the alleged
She's
victim.
dead.
It's talking about punishment for having harassed them, so they can find the harassment.
That's true.
Yep.
That's how it's right person.
Do you want to put, say, found guilty of harassing? Emphasize the fact that it's better workplace things.
But don't you think that sometimes these things get negotiated out in the
Found to have harassment, which that is what it says.
might have to
Then how could you,
This, this.
Right,
Have
they're
been
not-
found guilty.
right,
Well, that happens.
he'll just be let go under terms, not under harassment terms. If they're gonna negotiate a settlement,
Where's the heat?
She.
the person.
Because you only have one vote here, we have three.
That's right.
Strike that from the camera.
I just didn't know if you wanted to make it something that sounded a little more definitive to the end.
Well, we found guilty on truth,
Employee or volunteer found to have harassed another employee or volunteer will be sent.
That doesn't sound very definitive.
Yeah.
It would be subject to
Because
disciplinary
I'm
action,
talking about
including.
found to the harass, could that get mixed up with, who's been accused of? You know, at what point are you?
You know, if you
Having
say,
being guilty is more definitive.
right,
That, okay, we've done an investigation, because I can deal with that up here. And now, if an employee is found to be guilty of the charges, he or she is subject to.
But then that changes the whole
Possibly.
structure of the sentence, because it says, subject to disciplinary action, including possible legal prosecution. So when you're saying if he's guilty, she's guilty, we're already beyond that.
yeah, but you can't let them fire them, get them in for legal prosecution if they haven't, if they agree to leave their position for no reason at all. You can't prosecute them for sexual harassment on a legal charge by the state because there's nothing in their record. Trying to say they were left for that reason, disciplined for that reason, because they're doing those one of the, no contest.
But the disciplinary action would be probably from the town to be dismissed, probably. But including possible legal prosecution, would the town do that, or would it be up to the person who was harassed to then do that privately?
But, don't take this the wrong way. Let's say Steve was
I don't think this, yeah.
sexually harassing you, and Jennifer comes up to him and says, if you leave, we won't take you to court, or we won't, put your name in the paper, we won't, whatever. So he's gonna leave under a cloud of suspicion, but nothing is proven, so you can't take him to court because he wasn't let go for a sexual harassment charge. He was just let go because he's inept. He's going to agree to that.
He's a flirt.
So, does he have to be found guilty?
No, well, I think my thought was, if you say somebody's guilty, that means to me there's been a legal finding.
Yeah.
That's right.
When you say legal, that's exactly right, yeah.
And if you've got a legal finding that somebody is guilty,
You can't
Then-
do legal prosecution.
we're beyond legal prosecution. You have
Okay,
legal
but you
prosecution,
can't-
and then they found guilty.
Right, but you can't let him go and not have a sexual harassment charge, because then if she wants to take him to court, she can't, because there's nothing to document that that's why he was fired.
Well, you can't keep somebody from deciding who doesn't want to work there anymore. Is that what you're saying? He doesn't
If you want to
physically
quit, and
work.
that's, right, if you end up quitting, that's
avoid
fine, but to be,
prosecution.
right, but to be terminated, that has to be the reason.
He has to have been found that he had harassed.
Has to be found, what? You almost said guilty.
He's not guilty, he's not in court.
No, but,
Okay, we're arguing about not to change it to guilty.
no, well, something has to be in there saying that
It's
that's
no
why he was
sport,
terminated.
you know?
No, but you
They're
have
not
a point.
doing
You definitely have a point that,
But like you said,
Does
he
the
can't just
town-
quit for no reason.
That doesn't necessarily terminate the investigation either.
Because even if the
That's
town
right.
decided that they were gonna
what is the,
take further steps towards legal prosecution, the person who feels victimized can take off on their own road of justice, whether it's through a civil trial.
Would it be the town that legally prosecutes him? No.
If it happened in-house, they, I would think, would go to their town council, who would go to a DA, and say, look, this is the situation, and the DA, if you watch Law and Order, would decide whether or not to prosecute. Without the music.
5 o'clock in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday, you get a really long hours.
At 5 o'clock on any morning.
I just find the
No,
weekend.
not an option.
that's really
All right, so we'll leave it.
a valid question there, because what exactly, what's the process for they give the complaint to the board of selectmen or the main human rights commission. So it's not very detailed in terms of what it doesn't need to be under this particular thing, but it makes you wonder what the process would be, is how would they go about investigating this through? How would do that?
That way you're doing human rights in the state.
Well, I think one is looking at training and so that's
The selectmen, they go through a training process to,
I think it's probably an orientation. If it's a possible further legal action, instead of prosecution,
to disciplinary action.
including possible.
What power does the town have? Does the town have the right to prosecute them? Or does the town only have the right to say, you have harassed someone, the investigation has shown that you did harass this person, and you're subject to disciplinary action, which would include termination. But I don't know, is that the only level of power that they have? Is just to terminate them from employment, and then,
I think they can take action to include like counseling. Maybe having it necessary, that's acceptable.
yeah. So do you think that is spelled out in the state law?
So, federal, legal.
Well, the other doors open. Door downstairs.
What if we just said possible legal action? Because then it could be,
Will be subject to disciplinary.
how it all ends up could be based on the town council's recommendation, or then in conjunction with, DA's office or any other legal entity. Is the word
Rather
prosecution too
than-
heavy?
Oh,
Too strong?
What do you say, including possible legal actions?
Well, further.
Yeah, actions might be better than prosecution.
Okay. If it just said including possible legal action. Or take out the word possible and just say including legal actions.
Yeah.
Disciplinary action, including up to and including.
In reading documents, up to and including.
Here within,
Not heretofore mentioned by the third party. Would that be all right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Including legal action.
Now, so are we going to be referring to that as the municipal office? This one here.
Will be subject to disciplinary action.
Including.
Found to have harassed.
What did we do?
Volunteers.
Volunteers. And the 1 year, I think that is way too long. If you have an employee or somebody on the staff, whether they're paid, employee, volunteer, and you can't find the time to do this within 6 months, I mean, what is wrong here?
well, I think they do that because usually once a year they have all the required subjects.
They do it all at once.
Yeah.
Well, how much time do you do on the personnel policy?
How about if we say, on this,
To review this
Oh.
with?
on this, if we say, if it is determined an employee or volunteer has harassed another employee or volunteer, they will be subject to disciplinary action. If it is determined. Yeah.
Okay, so-
An employee or volunteer.
If it is determined that an employee or volunteer.
And I didn't want to use that. You know.
Well, that's under which in this situation?
Yes, that's good.
Hey,
because
oh,
it's
yeah.
bad.
So that's okay.
This time it's okay.
You get a bonus point for that one.
So if it is determined that an employee or volunteer has harassed another employee or volunteer, said culprit will be subject.
Hereafter known as the defendant.
Well, I didn't quite think about it.
Didn't you watch Charlie Mason, that video?
I did, okay, I love
Ted
that
Dogs?
show, yeah.
That's on now on some weird
Is it?
Martian channel.
If determined that an employee or volunteer has harassed another employee or volunteer.
No, let's just leave it as it is. A person found to have harassed another employee or volunteer. Leave it.
Limits the run-on sentences.
Right. So are we going to leave it at 1 year because there's a certain date?
Well, if there isn't some other rule that covers the 1 year, do you think that that's okay, or that's too much, too little?
So I think you should be the first day to show for work.
Yeah, always fine.
I don't think it's all possible either.
I wonder how they do it,
Probably.
like a movie, or I wonder if the state provides a movie or a video or something like that, so that it's the same for all municipalities. It's consistent.
I doubt it.
No,
Well, if we did it within 6 months, that's the period of time that a person's considered probationary.
that's right.
That's right.
So give them the training before they become a full-time person?
Yeah,
So within the first 6 months.
right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just looking to see if we can do this.
Within
Hard to do, so.
6 months. This is as required by state law, so the state law must give them a year.
Well, then take out the name of the state law.
Yeah.
This is a town policy.
Right. Okay.
Well, it could be just that the education and training is required by state law. Maybe it's not required, where.
Yeah. Person can go down solo? You need the bill bag, you need to. Actually, that's quite a lot. Unless it's supposed to be you. Well, they lost that side part of the bill.
Maybe that's not it.
A lot of cars out there.
Maybe there's another meeting tonight, that's okay. Oh. Is there another meeting downstairs?
Okay.
She said she didn't think so. She doesn't want to be the eye.
When was the last time anybody used to film?
She's old, because she says it's old.
You never say.
I always do.
You take that.
You take that for me?
Yeah. Don't worry, you take it.
So that's it?
That's what we did.
Yep.
Wow, what a fishing game.
Right?
And so we're just gonna give it to Jennifer as article harassment. And it will be part of the personnel policy.
Well, the other thing we had talked about was adding to the personnel policy that residency is not a requirement for our employers. So we went that far before, but I was in the personnel policy, and I was saying to myself, so I wrote it in up here, the first paragraph. And then I thought, why should it belong down here with equal opportunity employment? And either place.
Equal opportunity employer.
Because that's,
Jennifer is specific. Yeah, I said,
Big verbiage.
that word today.
it is.
Impressed?
Do they, do you register unnecessary?
Purpose.
I mean, I think when, even in other towns where I live, I've always thought that everybody that worked for the town
Had to work there.
had to live there. And the volunteers don't have to be residents all either. I don't know. And I just never saw it stated anyplace.
You want to stick it under employment?
I did, but I thought that's,
Is that here?
Yeah, but we put another letter in there.
Employment. Showing.
yeah, basically happy to have it anywhere.
All applicants must submit a written application for employment.
Residency is not,
Yeah,
or
maybe,
employment is not.
maybe it could be a letter, residency is not required to be a town employee. Make it another separate letter like between A and B.
There aren't any others between
That's what I was thinking.
you. There aren't any others between
You're
you.
gonna put one.
What would you like to put between
You're
A
gonna
and
make,
B?
you're gonna, after A, put A with a B.
A1?
Yeah, I think it should go right after the employment of all personnel shall be responsible of the board selectmen. We would either make it A or make it B.
I refer to you three, whatever keeps you
We,
happy.
we think.
Makes no difference.
I'm cool with epsilon.
Didn't know what to lie.
Oh. Oh, I put it as B.
If you're gonna edit it, you get to pick, what's that? How's that for democracy?
Do you have the most recent copy?
No, I think it should be A.
It's on the system.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? All right.
Household reside for residency is not required. Residency,
Applications are not contingent upon residence.
Residence of what?
in the town, residents of the town.
Of Earth?
That's a good way.
We don't want any Martians.
Yeah, all applications must submit, all applicants must submit a written application for employment and residency is not, put those two together. And residency is not a requirement for the town, it's not a requirement.
So make it B instead of A.
Or just make it part of the application process. And if you give them an application, you don't have to be a resident.
All applicants, comma, not necessarily from Acton.
Why don't you just say residency
Yeah,
is
I
not
know,
a requirement
yes.
of employment?
Right.
It's short, condensed.
Yes, really, that's fine. Does that mean you can be an illegal alien?
Who's illegal?
I'm asking.
We're calling it a really,
No, they're calling it something else.
But we're referring to the fact that
Undocumented.
they don't have to be a resident of Acton at the time.
they're undocumented, now they're illegal.
Can you work here? We're not going there. Just, we didn't have this conversation.
Okay,
There's some trouble.
I changed this a little bit. I gave you one already.
Thank you.
Oh,
Is this tonight's?
you sent that little email that said the 2 cards, one was for Jennifer and one was for Michelle.
Yeah, the information I got from.
Yeah, so I changed the top line.
Okay.
Yeah, towns issue 2 cards, one specifically to this one, the other to that person. They're kept in the safe until they do.
You just call it a town dedicated policy.
Yeah.
Because the first time around, I did not understand that there were 2 paths with their name printed on them.
But I'm not gonna put your name specifically
No.
in case they quit.
Well, then it's-
That's right. They're illegal undocumented workers.
Is this my card? Is this my card?
Yes, it is. Is that okay
Right on
then?
the top, mine.
See,
All right. Okay.
All right, now what do we do? Number 10.
does that mean that either Jennifer or Michelle have to go and get the arguments from the judges? Do the young ones that can use it?
No, they can
I
probably
think
call.
they probably all things in the policies.
Okay.
You know, I didn't think about it, so. If they were to go get in person, yeah, we'd have to be done. So you couldn't lend me a credit.
It doesn't matter. They don't know how they- Yeah, do they
Yes,
just
like
swipe
an
on the
ATM
same-
card? No?
I want it.
Why not?
I think these are a good idea.
Very easy way to make a contract.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Doesn't put a limit on how much you spend. Buy you $50 of cash, that's all I spend. Buy that debit card, I ain't free one.
Well, to be honest though, the
ATM card is
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
around 250 days in the bank.
you know how much you need and
Yeah, but
you keep it out, gather. You know, or you would write a check. Because nowadays, I guess, I know, nowadays, places probably won't accept checks. But, no, I have no idea how they work. It's literally you have to pay it and swipe it, sign for it.
No, I'll find out again. I use my pen when I go.
Well, use debit card at, let's say, grocery store. You swipe it, then you get in it. Otherwise, nothing happens. Isn't that kind of the same place?
Yeah. It's not a user's charge card.
It's an instant debit.
It's an
Right,
instant
yeah.
ATM account.
You know, like when you go to the store, you always push me away so I don't see your pen.
Push you away.
That's, you're kidding. Anyway,
So the cashier says, do you know this guy?
You know, for the long. Everything's,
oh,
Crazy.
You did. Security.
the only thing I did was I put the S in,
Purchase,
yeah, simple, and
I'm sorry.
He usually does.
So there's no limit on the debit card.
I asked, they said no. Actually, I did.
The issue bank does not limit the amount of the card handles.
It's for whatever is in that bill.
And they separately make the deposit
And they
to
do
that account, they move money
And
to
transfer.
that account based on what they,
what the warrant
needs
is.
are.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, town policy requires the DOS to obtain bids for any single item that is estimated to cost $5,000 or more. So,
We did this last week.
so they could put $5,000.
Yes.
$100,000.
And no bids would have to be purchased for 5,000, no bids are required.
Whether you could use the debit card, it doesn't have to be a bid or a no bid situation. Once you've got the approval, you can choose to use the debit card, cash, check, credit card. Excuse me. This policy isn't talking about the approval process or the expenditure.
Just the payment.
It's the mechanics
The
of how
authorization
you move the money.
for use of debit card. Debit and credit card.
That's it.
That's taxpayers using their debit credit card.
This is a town debit card used by
Oh.
town employees.
Oh, I thought
That one.
and I attached it to the online.
You know, I looked at that and I thought, there could be confusion here, people looking through and going, oh, and then it's like, what's this one? Who gets our title on the other one?
Policy on use of town debit card.
No, the other one is. Debit and credit
Debit and
card
credit card
policy.
policy.
You want to call this town purchases debit card policy?
Town purchases using
Payment
debit.
policy.
Use
I know, it's as long as the,
of town debit card for purchases. I guess it's self-explanatory.
Town authorized debit card?
whichever, whatever you want. But if you want to separate it, that's probably why I said use the town debit card.
This goes someplace else. I just go pull the wrong line.
You
Oh,
could use
my.
some kind of debit card policy, just, switch the policy from the beginning to the end.
And, yeah. Probably gonna have to, they're separated from the other.
Yeah.
This is the final copy of that debit and credit card policy. This is revisions to be made from the 219 meeting.
They would be on the town's website. Any copy in here.
Any work on this personnel policy? I guess I pulled a long line out of the done.
And that was exactly what was going through my mind, that could happen to anybody, right? Just what you did.
Could we finalize that?
A while ago.
Yeah. This is all personnel policy, so it must be.
Yeah, see, that says town of Acton debit and credit card policy, this one says town of Acton debit card policy.
Debit and credit card policy revised 10/27/11.
She has 21113 on her.
I might have just written that. No, I
Like you-
wouldn't have 2,000. Use it right there.
we looked at that in a while.
Church13.com.
Or are you talking about this town card versus,
Debit and credit card policy. Payment by debit and credit card policy, that was done a long time ago.
maybe we should change that and say credit and debit card policy, so that debit doesn't, isn't the first one you read. That? Well, you can put this in and Jennifer,
Oh, yeah, she could change it to anything
Change
she
it.
wants, right.
if they think it's confusing.
This is so nice.
All right, so we're good with that? Transfer station policy? Oh,
Christina Brown.
let's see.
Oh,
Today's is Benton. And Jennifer, Chamberlain Jennifer. Okay. Okay, as of last week when I spoke to Jennifer, there was, she said when we get through with these two, we were working on any preliminary computer use policy as soon as we get feedback from the board, which I expect will be in the next week. The board has a policy, apparently very short, they expect, done on mileage reimbursement. So, my response to Jennifer was, well, there's a federal statute on that, because you can put it on any tax return, business reimbursement, I think, last I looked, it was about 23 cents a mile. And she said, well, the state has a policy, and the town has one. They're not all the same. So,
County has one too.
is that right? So apparently they want a short policy written about the town's policy on mileage reimbursement.
How much is it? She didn't tell you how much it was?
It didn't seem important at the moment. I was happy enough to know just that there are multiple policies about how much you get reimbursed. So. You can tell her the answer. Okay.
towns get reimbursed for
I thought we paid for their
Yeah, that's what I'm
vehicles.
saying, that's why I don't
Well, we see it for that, ask her how much it is.
We can talk about that.
It's also money.
Since I haven't, unless you just want to call it this. Since I haven't run down and talked to her about it.
I just, the only thing I can think of is take that out.
Something else to talk about? Any other policies? There you go. Doesn't it almost seem like this should be part of a bigger policy?
Yes, it does. That really doesn't make much sense.
Why would you write a policy for common services?
Because they.
Needed to
you-
transfer
you-
money.
Yeah.
A majority vote of whom? A majority vote of the selectmen, a
Must be the town.
majority vote of the
Posted.
town.
Right, because the board of selectmen may appoint a majority one.
Yeah, probably.
And it's
And
probably
probably
posted
posted
public meeting.
They need a board of selectmen.
No,
No, that just says the board of
no, it has,
selectmen may
it's
transfer
referring
money.
to the town meeting where we allocate warrants. We approve warrants at the town meeting.
And I think that should be part of it.
I'm not familiar with the warrant process at all, really.
Leave you kind
Just ignorant. Enlighten me.
But I mean, I'm assuming, if, in it, I guess, if you're talking about money, you shouldn't assume anything. It should be spelled out.
Well, what's your best guess? We won't assume just,
My best guess is that this is referring to that they can transfer money between the town's accounts to pay for or process money for an article, town warrant article that's been approved for a certain amount of money.
so majority will go through.
Not majority. Vote.
I imagine the thing that says add is because of the legal thing.
In one country not provided, the budget approved by the town meeting is not exceeded.
All right, so there's a warrant.
Well, maybe it's-
item that
maybe it's
talks
not
about
because
the town
it-
meeting.
Because the town is saying budget approved by, at the town meeting, which is, the budget is the total of all of the warrants.
Let's say it's a really snowy,
But there's individual warrants.
right, there's individual
Yes,
things, in- right.
yes.
So let's say it's a really snowy winter and we have to get a lot more sand. Are we allowed to take money from, I don't know, your fire department to pay for the sand as long as they were voted on the same article at the town meeting? No, because each one is an individual article, right?
Yeah,
In this town, it is.
yeah. If people vote to give X amount of dollars to the fire, and I don't see how the town can decide to take some out and give it to the voters.
That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, but a lot of times, as you're saying, when you have a really snowy winter, you'll see it on the news, that towns are transferring money from one budget area to another, and
General
Right.
account or something that they would take excess money.
as a capital that reserves.
Yeah.
Maybe that,
That doesn't,
This is very big.
yeah.
And this was done in 2007. On Charlie Road, and properly posted public meeting.
I know.
Majority vote at home.
Yes.
On vote of who? Selectmen?
So
should this be
properly
part of
posted-
a policy, is a big policy discussion?
Properly posted public meeting.
Isn't, I would consider that an emergency or an extra meeting.
That's why it says probably posted public meeting.
Okay.
Probably public meeting.
But,
Is
yeah,
that
so
the
is
same
it-
as a town meeting?
Is it,
No.
oh, I forgot it's a little meeting, or is it a true emergency?
Well, we'd like to think that this is for emergency purposes.
Well, the public, the meeting we all came to about the road business, was that a public meeting?
Yes, that hearing will be had here?
Yeah, but there was no votes taken there.
No. Right, because they had set up an
I
election.
think
That was informational. I don't even know if you call it a hearing. Is it a hearing? A meeting?
Presentation. I've done factors, really, so you have a public meeting, is in the vote.
The board of selectmen may, upon majority voted, properly posted public meeting.
Or assume that we're going to second. selectmen meetings or public meetings.
Transfer money from one account to another, provided that the budget is approved by the town, by the town meeting. Or-
This is way too long.
Yeah, and way too, doesn't make any
And,
sense.
and isn't very precise about, my question says, on a majority vote by whom, and a properly posted public meeting, what kind of public meeting is that, a town meeting?
Another question is, which budget? Is the whole town budget not being exceeded, or is it the individual county budgets? that are-
Yeah, that's,
Well, that's why it's up here, it's a public meeting, and down here it says the budget approved by the town meeting. The town meeting is gonna be the annual town meeting.
right,
when we
and you
choose our
never
budget.
have transfer and two and five, that were voted on the same article, we never have votes on the same article for two different things.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's why it's there. Maybe that's why, because you have one article for the transfer station, let's say.
Right.
On the transfer station, they might have snow removal, plastic bags, you know, we're gonna spend $10,000 on snow removal, $5,000 in plastic bags. So I think that's what it might be saying, is that they can take $2,000 from plastic bags according to the snow.
So it's a department budget.
Well, that's what I'm reading.
But that's what
That's
needs
the
to be
article.
clarified.
Yeah.
Right.
Within the transfer within the department's budget, or voted budget amount.
But I thought as long as you stayed within their $15,000 budget, that the transfer station didn't have to ask where the money goes.
If the warrant says you get $5,000 for trash bags, you better spend $5,000 for trash bags.
The budget for what?
I know that there was a conversation I had with Ted a while ago. I think at the time we were talking about that purchasing guidelines. And at the time, the gist of the conversation was that according to Ted, if a department didn't need to get approval from him to spend money, if it had already been approved and was money in the budget, but earmarked in the budget. But if they wanted to plant flowers around the building, and that wasn't in the budget, no matter how much it is, they're gonna have to go to the board of selectmen and say, we want to spend money to plant flowers. And it was not budgeted for. That was the only situation, conversation about whether or not they had to get it paid for the board of selectmen. If they put it in their budget, not a manager puts it in their budget, this is what they want. Or something, agree with it, town meeting goes in, you don't have to ask again for spending money.
As long as they don't go over the budget. In other words,
Right.
you know, however it was presented at town meeting that, you know, they want this amount of money because of this, and this. And then it might be dollar allocations to each of those. And what you're saying is if they change their mind and say, no, we're not going to do treatment, we're just going to do flower planting.
That was not,
And that wasn't in the budget.
Now that, then the annual report.
That's right.
They'll give us warrants and things.
oh, yeah, there were parts of it in the hall.
They were, yeah.
The green one.
With the notes on the screen.
Yes. I think not much. And if they're not in the hall, by the bookcase, they're around the corner, which is, that hall is locked.
Last time I looked, I didn't see the green ones.
There was a box.
It was just an
In
orange.
March, there was a box in the hall. I'm sure they're either still in that hall down there, or Lorraine, or Jeff Long.
this one I have is the orange, or the salmon.
That's the
This one.
Yeah, I think the one I have
So
is.
he's allowed to receive articles.
Right, okay. So we can transfer some of that 16,000 in communications to streetlights. That's the same article. So what they're asking for is permission to move some of this money around.
From different departments.
Well, this particular article is for public safety.
Right.
Then you have this one down here for public works.
Mhm.
So they
Okay,
could
so
move
it's
any of
within
this
a
around.
department.
Right.
Would you call that a department?
Yeah.
Street lights, and communications. What is the communication?
Walkie talkies.
We were here,
Um,
he's going to maintain all this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, okay, clear.
Well, I think I'll still ask if there's some other policy that this could be appropriate for it to be included in.
And what is the intent of this?
The intent is they are generally wanting to move some money around in one of these articles, and they need
Yeah,
something really quick, back in 2007.
Within a
yeah.
department.
Yes.
Well, I think you should word it like she has it here, the same article. Because maybe one department has some different articles.
Yeah, there were some that had a lot of articles.
Yeah.
So what do you?
Who made this suggestion? Yeah.
Yes, there was, Michelle, Jennifer.
Okay.
Same,
Annual report.
Here it says act on the.
Question on it.
Any other questions on this
So
one?
this week it's provided that, provided that the accounts
No, that
were voted on and sent
That,
out,
the department budget.
and provided the accounts were voted on in the same article. At town meeting.
Yeah, we have a couple of meetings to do this.
On the majority vote, so,
Did you get your orders?
so the majority vote of, what was that? Because public meeting, the only public meeting that people get to town meeting. The
No,
annual
we voted on an emergency meeting for the policeman.
Oh, the deputy. That
Yeah.
was a special meeting.
Right.
And-
And we got the vote,
Did they refer to this special meeting?
I believe,
Or town meeting,
no,
was a special.
It wasn't the annual town meeting.
no.
No.
And was it,
It's the right terminology.
was it just a yay and nay?
Yeah, there were, at least, there were introduction and 3 articles. You voted to approve them or not, to go with Shapley, and then if you did go with Shapley, you had to vote whether or not we wanted them all by ourselves.
Right.
Was
Yeah,
was
that's
it here or at the
School.
at the school?
The school.
I think we were away or something, 'cause I don't-
Me and it was in this hall.
The vote was on the school,
The vote was at the school.
the meeting was here.
Oh, all right.
All right, so
Informational meeting was here.
that's.
Did you go to the vote? I don't know, see.
I thought she voted.
Other than the annual town meeting, I never knew that stuff.
Really?
I guess I did.
I thought we did too.
Maybe I was camping.
In the back of the school?
Oh, you think about it, well, to go to the discussion, I think.
See, I didn't go to the discussion, it's simply the vote.
You're not as
I went to both.
So what is, so what's our status in this? What do we want to do? with this
She's
thing.
gonna talk to
I'm gonna
Jennifer
go
or somebody.
talk to Jennifer and Michelle and ask them whether or not this should be actually part of another policy. Or it-
And if she says no,
Well, I think
We
we
should
should
rewrite it because it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and there'll definitely be more than one sentence.
because if it's the board of selectmen, maybe we should say the board of selectmen may, upon their majority vote, they will properly post the public meeting. Because it's really not clear the majority of who's vote. Board of selectmen
This
may.
is an emergency situation.
Probably post the meeting.
Well, if they wanna transfer money, they can, that's the way the policy is set up. All right, so you'll talk to Jennifer.
You guys,
Anybody else that would like to meet? And then I'll find out more about this matter of reimbursement policy. And, I do think within, by the time we meet again, we will have, feedback from the board on the computer use policy.
oh, yeah, yeah, that's one of my questions. I really don't want to
Well,
discuss
turn it
that.
off. I think we're done, thank you.